Hey everybody, welcome back after in internet time it's like a decade, but welcome back to the NotPodcast after a long, it wasn't a hiatus, I just wasn't, I didn't have enough ideas, so yeah, we'll go with that. Anyway, this is episode 6, and we got a lot of exciting things to talk about. It should be fun. Again, I'm joined by the Bossman today, who's here and loving it. Yeah, he's loving it.
Loving it.
Yeah. And, we're gonna get right into stuff. Channel news, of course, as always. So there's no new subs since we hit 30, but there is happy news. I do have a Steam card to give away, so I'm gonna do that as soon as I get all wound down from uploading and everything, and the winners will be announced on Twitter and all that other stuff, and all that other stuff. I apologize in advance if you're an American subscriber, because I have a Canadian Steam card, so it is for $20, but for you Americans, if you win, it'll be more like $17 or $15, but you could still buy a you can still buy a decent come by any game, you know? I mean, it won't be a AAA game, but we didn't say we'd give you Doom.
It's the thought that counts, man. It's the thought
that
counts.
And then I am doing the giveaway because I promised I'd do the giveaway, and it's been like 2 months since I said I would do that, so... So hopefully, I mean, in a perfect world, a Canadian would win, but if you're American... and the code doesn't work.
It's not hockey, man. Only in the perfect world do the Canadians win in hockey.
Yeah. So, the giveaway will be done later. Okay, so, other channel news. Watch time is really down, which is sad. I'm all in the red now, and the big subscriber boost numbers I had at one point, I had 12 for the last 28 days, and now it's like 0, just sad, so... It's not good to see red.
Gives us something to work on.
Yeah, there you go. Work towards, eh?
That's right.
But yeah, so hopefully that's going to change and more people like this stuff and everything. Other than that, that's kind of dismal and saddening. So we're going to move on from that. That's kind of depressing. So anyway, welcome. Today we got, like I said, some fun... topics, and I think we're going to start off with we're in no order, so it's all randomized, but the first topic I want to get out there is about movies that are upcoming for 2017, for this year, and 2018. Now, it would be easy to ask, what are you excited to see, Bossman? And, you could just list off a whole bunch of movies, but, and I won't say too much about the ones I already made a video about where I gave a little blurb about them, but I will admit that I was going to finish that series, but I didn't, so I'll do a bit of revisiting it here and go a little bit more into detail. So now, of course, I got to say this because, as you know, in the previous episode, one of the previous episodes, the Bossman said he loved Gremlins, and of course, there's a Gremlins movie coming out in 2017 Christmas. So what do you think of that, and what would you like to see them do with it, the Bossman?
As long as they don't screw it up. See, my view on remakes is they try to do a new spin on it, but every time they do it, they let down original fans.
Well, yeah.
So my biggest worry with something like that is they're going to change the look of them. They were cool. They're ugly little fuckers.
Yeah.
Right? So the goal, in my opinion, should be to keep it based on the original, but change it up story-based, not origin-based. Does that make sense?
Well, from the poster I saw online, and I gave a little bit of my opinion on the detail of it on that video I made. But it looks like to me that the Gremlins, I don't think the Gremlins directly killed people in the original movie, but people died as a result of what they were doing. I don't know if they outright killed anybody, but it looks like they're going with a more horror theme in this movie. Like the Gremlins will straight up stab people and shit.
Yeah, they killed little Mrs. Deagle. Remember she flew out the window with the electric chair. So there was quite. But
again, that was as a result from what they were doing, right?
Right. And the director of this one is the guy who did Krampus, and he's also the guy who did Trick or Treat, which are really kick-ass horror movies that weren't given the the props they deserved.
Yeah.
Michael Dockery's like one of my favorite guys to watch his movies and his concepts. So yeah, if he does it, then I think it will be pretty kick-ass. It'll probably be low budget, but who gives a shit?
Yeah, but Gremlins, Gremlins is a movie I think that would work perfect in a low budget thing because it's already campy. The original ones were campy, and it's not like they weren't entertaining, even though there was a definite camp factor, right?
That's the whole thing, right? It's like versus CGI, right? Like,
yeah.
You look at like Michael Bay films and how he's destroyed pretty much everything of my childhood.
Yeah.
Right? Transformers.
The Turtles are aliens. Fuck off.
Actually, it's still not as bad as Ghostbusters, and I know you have my back on that one.
Nothing is as bad as Answer the Call. Yeah,
I said that one for you, buddy. I
Answer the Call, more like disconnect your phone line and never use it again.
Yeah, no, that one definitely leaves a bad taste in your mouth and in your wallet because you'll never get that time or money back.
Fuck.
But you know what? Everyone loves Patty.
On a side note, right now, if you were to go into my apartment, on my computer desk, there's a picture of old Patty just sitting right there on the thing next to my Wind Rider Cub, and and I mean, yeah, why, OBG, would you have a picture of frickin' Patty? Because you despise the movie, and I don't think she's funny, but it's because it was a gift, and the Bossman gave it to me, and it's just like a constant reminder that even shit can be put on display.
That's right.
Like
everything I draw and paint.
No, it's not shitty. But yeah, to get back to the reboots and stuff. So another movie coming out is another Jaws, and yeah, Jaws. There's a Jaws movie coming out.
No,
you didn't watch my video, did you?
I did.
I talked about Jaws.
I know, but I'm trying to make it dramatic for your podcast.
Oh well, yes, okay, but yes. So they're coming out with Jaws. I'm not sure if it was a 2018 or a 2017 release. I don't think it was on the poster. Look at me, I don't even know my own video, and I'm berating other people for not watching it. Right. But regardless of when it comes out, I did make the comment that I think the reason we haven't seen a Jaws movie is because of the abomination that was Jaws: The Revenge. And Michael Caine actually missed, and this is actually true, he missed accepting an Academy Award because he was filming it, and it's pretty telling when it's like you get an Academy Award and then yet you star in a movie that'll never even be in the same room or country as an Academy Award, So, so it's, it's an American movie. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Bruce
just that bad.
Acting.
Oh.
A Guild Actors Award for that one.
Screen Actors Guild, yeah.
Yeah.
But, no, I think the reason we haven't seen a Jaws reboot or reimagining is because of Jaws for the Revenge, and people were just like, this is so shit.
The thing is, they do a lot of shitty shark movies, like Shark Week and freaking Sharknado. So, people don't think them as scary anymore. They used to, in the 70s, like 80s, Jaws was fucking scary. But now it's just like, shark movie.
Well, Sharknado knew what it was. Everybody knew what Sharknado was.
It was campy and shit, but the thing is...
That's what sci-fi does. They don't think their movies are going to be any good. They bank... They pay their salaries and pay their mortgages with so bad it's good money. That's what they do.
That's the problem with Jaws movies now is nobody will take them seriously, so it's not going to make the money or get the credit it deserves. Yeah. Because everybody's going to think it's a campy piece of shit like Sharknado.
But now here's a good question to get your opinion on. Now I think there is an allure to it, but do you think now that people are like, not the whole movie going audience, because there's people that will see shit regardless if it's shit, even if they know it's shit. If you say here's a pile of shit and you put it in your hand and you give it to them and they exchange money for it, they know what they're getting, but they're gonna watch it just to see what kind of shit it is, right?
We're talking Ghostbusters again. Right?
Always, you can always bring it up. But anyway. But do you think there are some of the movie-going public, maybe even in this city, that are so remake or reboot shy that they'll just be like, I'm not going to see it because it's probably going to be shit? Do you think that?
Lots of people. They'll judge it before they even see it. Can you name one awesome reboot in the last 10 years that you actually said, you know what, that was really good?
Oh,
yeah, put you on the spot. Anything,
eh?
No, because everybody's going to find something wrong with it. Right?
Yeah.
So, like you just said, some people will be like, fuck it, I'm not going to go see it because I've already seen it in the 80s and the 70s. Everything is a reboot. There's no original ideas. You said that multiple times.
Yeah. Now, do you think there's a reason that Hollywood? Do you think Hollywood takes the easy route out doing remakes and reboots, and they're just afraid of originals?
Well, there's how many thousands and thousands and millions of books in the world. They could find an original idea if they wanted to. Get off your ass and read a book.
I think they just don't want to pay the people for the property.
Well, if they already own it, why would you pay for it twice, right? Like a lot of these companies already own the idea, the rights, the everything about it. So let's just keep fucking rehashing it.
Now this is a good point of thing on it, because Disney has banked a lot on Beauty and the Beast, and you know what they're doing now is you see posters everywhere. They are not only going with Beauty and the Beast, like, hey, we can do this. They're going to come up with live actions of all their movies. That seems like a shitty idea.
That's a terrible look at Pete's Dragon.
Yeah, I don't remember how that performed, but I don't think it was all that great.
It was not good. You know, everyone's like, who the fuck's Pete's Dragon? I remember it as a kid watching
I watched
Sunday
it too.
Disney.
I love some of them. It's one of my favorite musicals.
But the problem with it is they're redoing Mary Poppins now too.
Oh, well, you know what? The only thing that really deserves a remake in that is Dick Van Dyke's terrible accent as a chimney sweep.
They're redoing Mary Poppins.
But other than that, the movie was okay.
It's to me, like I said, it's one of those. They're wrecking your childhood.
Like, how are they gonna, like, one example of the Disney remake machine that they're gonna do. You know what movie's probably gonna be? It's gonna be the little CGI mermaid, because half the movie takes place underwater. They obviously won't have actors doing practical effects underwater, so you know it's gonna be CGI.
Exactly.
And I mean, because no actor, unless you do a movie every, you record for a minute at a time and just patch them all together, there's no actor that's going to swim around in an actual tank and even if they use a tank and do practical things like that, the background and the sea life is going to be CGI because you can't put all that in a tank, right?
We'll have to see what they do with Justice League, because Jason Momoa seems to do a lot of swimming in and underwater crap in this movie.
Because he's Aquaman, right?
Because he's Aquaman, you got it. See?
Well, and I mean, and the prevalence of CGI is a whole other topic you could talk about for hours. But back to the new movies for 2018. I want to bring up some other ones that are coming out. Now, they're coming out with a Jeepers Creepers 4. Or 3. I think it's 3, yes. Jeepers Creepers 3.
That's another one. They've been promising it for 10 years. No one can get their shit together, so is it all real? Do you see it online? I would love to see it.
What'd you think of 1 and 2?
Again, campy movies. The storyline was cool. I absolutely love the idea of this creature coming after people, smelling their fear. Again, the jokes were horror-ish, kind of campy. But, again, that's my style. I love badass movies.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to Jeepers Creepers 3 if they go ahead and do it.
Yeah. Well, they've made a release date, but that doesn't always mean they're actually going to do it. But,
well, that's the thing. They've been planning this release for 10 years and still nothing.
Yeah.
No, the one I'm really looking forward to is the new It. The new Pennywise.
Yeah.
Hey, man. That clowns scare a lot of people. A lot of people get freaked out by clowns.
Well, and my opinion of that is that I'm not a purist for the miniseries, because everyone knows Stephen King's miniseries are toss in the pan. Sometimes the pan has something good in it. Sometimes the pan is burnt and you can't cook anything with it.
Oh, it's got some shit. Let's be honest.
So I'm not saying everything that was original from that is any good. Like, some of the jokes from the miniseries are hilarious. Like, calling what's that one guy fat and everything, and the head in the fridge. That was pretty funny.
Tim Curry was a god. Everyone loves Tim Curry. So, to find this Asgard kid, we'll see if he can do it. That's the big thing, is hopefully he can. I'm still going to watch it. I love the story. I read the book numerous times. Yeah. The first miniseries was nothing like the book. It was close, but there's a lot of stuff left out, which apparently they're going to be touching on in this one.
Yeah, I just think the clown, and you said this when we were talking yesterday, not recording and stuff, but you said, the clown's not supposed to look scary, but I think there should be some scariness to him. In my opinion, the promotional pictures, he doesn't look frightening at all. I know that's not his actual form, so he doesn't need to try and be scary.
Well, that's the thing, right? He's supposed to lure in children, and this Pennywise, even the one from the original miniseries didn't follow the book. This one tends to follow a little closer, so we'll see again what they can do with it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be enough to keep people's attention and not just be, a 6-hour waste of our time and money.
Yeah. All right, well...
Like the Langoliers. Come on, remember that
Scaring
CGI?
the little girl?
That was the worst CGI. Again, could have been an amazing movie. And then it was just bad.
Oh, jeez, yeah. All right, so let's get into the... before we get into the next fun thing, it's going to be fun, but I want to mention a new segment that we're going to have and stuff, and it's going to be totally off the wall, literally, because it's something that a lot of other shows do, but these are like daily shows and stuff, and they have their own dedicated shit, so we're doing it like... 1950s minus the switchboard. But what we're thinking of doing is having an open line thing where we give out a number over Twitter, and I'll give more details as it gets closer to being implemented, probably in the next episode, but don't quote me. But we'll have a phone with a number designated for that phone, and we'll give it out on Twitter with a hashtag, call us, or whatever, and we'll promote it up there, put it on Facebook too. And what it'll be is you call us up, we put you on speakerphone, and we tell you you're going to be recorded. We put it in Twitter that you're going to be recorded, so if you don't want to be recorded, whatever. But, so we're going to give everybody 1 minute to talk about whatever they want or say whatever they want. And if my podcasts weren't, showable on restricted mode when that was enabled before, they're not even going to be close to it after that. But, we like to take a little bit of a risk here. Maybe, as long as my channel doesn't get taken off the face of the earth, then that's okay. So, use your discretion. But if those videos of the religious call-in shows are any indication, then we're going to get some real colorful people. But, so everyone will get about a minute or so, depending on what you call up and say. Like, if you're just saying random shit that's like, even too much for us, then we'll just cut you off and then go to the next person. So don't make us do that. But if you have something cool to say or you want to share an opinion, you'll have a minute, and then we'll just turn off the phone when it's all done. So, and the phone will not be on all times. It'll be turned off except for when we're using it. So, but yeah, so that's what we're going to end up implementing, hopefully for the next episode. So, look forward to that. It'll be fun.
It's going to be interesting.
It'll be... a mess or fun.
A mess of fun.
Yeah. And don't worry about bullying us, because we're already fucked by life anyway. So,
that's right.
So we really don't care what people say. Just yeah. Anyway, so that's not an announcement. Now, moving on to the next fun thing, we got Hypothetical 5. Now, I don't know who went first last time. I think it was me.
You asked me last time.
So this means that the Bossman gets to start with his hypothetical question for this entry of Hypothetical 5. And so since it's a newer thing, since it was only in one episode so far, what it is each co-host asks one person, one of us asks the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. A hypothetical question, doesn't matter what it is, it could be totally random, it doesn't really need to make that much sense. And the person is tasked with coming up with 5 answers or 5 situations in regard to that question as answers. So that's why it's called Hypothetical 5, because there's 5 answers to one hypothetical. I think it's actually a pretty good name. So, that's the gist of it, and it could take however long, I don't know, but the boss man is on deck to go first because I asked him last time, and he's been really mad about the question I asked him last time, so I don't know what he's going to say, but so I'll open it up to the boss man. Let's see what you got.
I'm going to keep it nice this time. I was going to come at you hard and mean, but, I figured I'm going to keep it down to earth. Because, I've had some time to think about it, and I was like, no one wants to hear our personal crap, which you nailed me with last time.
Yeah.
So today it's going to be really simple. As I was sitting here drawing the other day, I listen to certain music, and certain music triggers memories, right?
All the time.
Everybody. I was listening to Cats in the Cradle. Again, you think of time, you're always wasting time, instead of spending with the ones you love, blah, 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 and all that horse shit, right?
Yeah.
So my question for you is 5 songs, any songs they are, the ones that mean the absolute most to you and why. And the reason is because every song you listen to has a meaning. It could be your first kiss. It could be the death of your parent. I don't give a shit. 5 songs, names of them, and why they mean the most important thing to you. Go.
Well, okay, I'm going to do 6 because there's this really funny thing to say about it. So I'll open, this is an official one, this was a sideline one, but one song that was ruined for me, I won't go into too much details, but I can't, because of a thing that took place, gave me a little bit of music PTSD, I can't listen to Take My Breath Away anymore.
I couldn't listen to it to begin with.
Well, no, but I used to love that song, and now I don't know if I can even watch Top Gun anymore because it plays a lot throughout that fucking movie.
Terrible.
So it's really sad. I regret burying that one, but I haven't listened to it in many, many years because I can't listen to it anymore. And so yeah, that's a sad result of
that
life.
Kicks you in all the feels and all the wrong places.
Yeah, I really love that song. That's actually the reason. That's why I chose that song when the event took place, because I really loved it, and now it was like, fuck you, can't listen to it. So anyway, okay, so 5 songs.
There's one down.
Well, no, that was a sideline one.
That's the sideline.
That was just an added thing.
Keep going.
So 5 songs that mean a lot to me.
And why?
Okay, well, you know, I am going to put this as one of the 5, because I've listened to so many songs, but in the wake of, no pun intended, but in the aftermath of the brother dying, it seems like and I have a lot of songs that he introduced me to. Karma Chameleon I listened to that for the first time when I was in the same building as my brother. We were hanging out and he was playing it and one of his friends played it, and that's the first time I heard that. And Pop Goes the World, I heard that the first time when I was with my brother and stuff. Heck, even Until It Sleeps by Metallica was the first time I heard that was when I lived with my brother and my mom in Nova Scotia on Victoria Road. And it was on Much Music when Much Music showed all kinds of music and shit, right back in the early '90s. So, so to answer a blanket answer, to give a blanket answer, a lot of the songs that my brother introduced me to are ones that mean a lot to me because they always make me think of him. And I stop for a second and think, I listened to this with the brother and we both like this song and stuff, So that would be, it would be an amalgamation of songs that trigger memories for me. Like you said, music does triggering of memories.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing.
So I guess that would be my first answer, would be a lot of songs that the brother introduced me to are ones that make me think of him and all that stuff. So they mean something to me. So another song that means a lot to me. Well, I have a lot of songs that are tied to memories. Actually, this is a kind of a funny one. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's another thing from when I was a child. I used to live in Nova Scotia, growing up in Sydney, in Whitney Pier, and back in the day, in the 90s, there was, the song "All for One, I Swear," right? This band of 3 black guys and 1 white guy. Imagine the dynamic of that. They were probably like, yeah, we're just 3 brothers and this cracker over here. We only have him because he can sing all the deep things. You ever notice that? The white guy in most of those boy bands that were the majority of African American ones, they always had the deep voice. That's the only reason I think they had them. But because for some reason they had a really deep voice and it worked. But anyway, so the reason this song means something to me is because, and it's really embarrassing and funny, but I used to hang out at the Boys and Girls Club a lot, and I remember when that song was popular when I was hearing it back in the 90s. I sat on the stairs that went down to the basement of the club, and I was on the second bottom bit of the stairs, and I was just singing "All for One," I swear, and I was just singing all the way. I still know the lyrics, as I'm not gonna sing it. But
that'll be next episode, folks.
No.
Write it in the comments.
No, fuck off. No, I'm not gonna sing "I Swear" on my podcast. But anyway,
in the comments, people.
No, it's
we
not
can make
gonna
this happen.
It's not gonna happen. Anyway, and so I was all of like 7 or whatever years old, and me with my cracky ass voice, and I was just sitting there on the bottom of the stairs while people were making out, not making out, like sorry, working out. No, working out. There was weights in the basement, so people were like lifting weights, and people were hanging out and playing pool and stuff. And here I am, I swear, all that shit. And just 7-year-old me just singing it at the top of my lungs, and it was fucked up. I was weird and cringy, I'll admit it. But that's yeah, fun. So that just reminds me of hanging out at the club and stuff, because I was singing that song on the fucking stairs. So yeah, that's embarrassing.
That's good.
People are gonna come up to me and be like, "Hey, you sang any All for One songs? Lately, fuck off."
Did they have any other than that?
I don't know. But and a side note, I don't only know that song. I know most of, if not all, the words to "I'll Make Love to You" by Boyz II Men too. So there's a fun thing you know about me now.
That got awkward really fast.
Yeah. Okay. Not because I sleep around a lot. I just used to like the song. Okay. So that's two songs down. So a third song means a lot to me. Well, I'm going to do another blanket one, because then you got to understand, I know it sounds like I'm cheapening out, but it's how I listen to music. I don't have a favorite band, okay? I don't have a favorite group, or I will never say that I have a penultimate favorite artist or anything, because, I mean, I always say if I have to pick one, like if I'm put on the spot, I'll pick Michael Jackson, because the majority of his catalog I like. But I will never come right out and say, oh, I definitely only like this person. They're my all-time favorite. I always, like I said just now, say with it that if I had to pick. But I usually don't have a penultimate favorite. So I don't have that much exposure to just one favorite song. It's usually a bunch of songs from an artist, because I listen to so many different artists all the time. So, speaking of the King of Pop, I would have to say a lot of his songs mean a lot to me, mostly because when I listen to them, I'm reminded of when I was young and more thin and more dancey, and so I can still dance, not terribly. I think I can hold my own. But when I was a kid in the 90s, again, I'm young, I swear. I'm not going to tell people how old I am.
You're aging yourself, buddy.
Right? But when I used to dance a lot at school dances, and just for the fun of it and all that other stuff. And Michael Jackson's songs and just, watching him in general were they gave me the confidence to, just watch. I did a lot of learning my dancing and rhythm and stuff from watching other people, and, memorizing it in my mind, and, just snapping my fingers along this stuff and all that stuff. So whenever I hear his songs, I just always start, moving my body, chair dance, and all that stuff. And it just makes me feel really good, because it reminds me of when I got into wanting to do dancing for fun and stuff like that, And so they make me feel all warm and fuzzy, and remind me of a simpler time,
The thing with MJ is, you can like him, you can hate him. He was a kick-ass artist.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he made money, he made music.
People might have thought he was fucked up, but his music wasn't,
He wasn't fucked up in some kind of weird way, right?
All the times.
Just with Michael Jackson? Just don't invite him to a daycare.
Oh, come on.
Come on. Was it too soon?
No.
Okay, good. You didn't want to insult.
It's never too soon, but you don't have to like it. But anyway.
Neither did the kids.
Okay, we're moving on.
Okay, go.
Okay. So, for my fourth song, it means a lot to me. I don't know. I just trying to think of songs that...
It's hard, isn't it?
I really like, and ones that I have tied to memories.
It's difficult, man.
There's all kinds of songs I could bring up that, I danced to, have memories of dancing to as a kid, or that I performed in talent shows. Not big talent shows or anything. I'm not, FAMU or anything. But as far as having ones that are poignant for me, I don't know.
It's hard, isn't it? I mean, thinking of something that means. But you know what? When you threw your iPod on, or you threw your phone
when I hear it, of course, it'd be like, oh, well, it's obviously that, But just to pick it out of nowhere.
Pick it out of nowhere is the hardest thing to do.
There's one song that means a lot to me. But it always makes me feel shitty, because there was a time where I was listening to a lot of songs to cope with all kinds of sad shit and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I guess I guess I Would Lie for You, and That's the Truth by Meatloaf makes me feel some feels. You know, I know a lot of the words.
Meatloaf makes everybody feel some feels.
Yeah, Michael's a feel machine. But no, yeah, that song makes me feel all bleh and, you know, whatever. But I mean, I don't know if songs mean a lot to me or whether it is that they don't mean as much to me, but they elicit feels from me. I think that's the way they work with me, you know. But yeah, definitely I Would Lie for You is probably one that has an impact on me, you know, for sure. And then, you know, a lot of other Meatloaf songs, because like you said, you know, they're
Everyone
all
likes Meatloaf.
feels machines.
And anyone who says they don't is lying.
Yeah, right? And for the fifth one, the final one, I don't know, you know, I don't know, it's like a standout song, eh?
A standout song, and it can be anything. You know, I remember as a kid the Hockey Night in Canada theme, because it meant every Saturday night I was not allowed to watch TV.
Well, fuck.
And you know, to this day, it still sticks in my head as a song that when I hear it, I fucking hate it.
Even though you can watch whatever the fuck you want.
I'm a grown-ass man, but every time I hear Hockey Night in Canada, I'm thinking, fuck. I gotta go to my room.
Imagine all the times I missed watching all the stuff I couldn't see.
Exactly.
You know. But, so for a fifth one, I don't know, it's like a song I could hear over and over and never get tired of, I guess. But,
those are hard.
yeah, you know, it's not like a movie because you actually have to dedicate yourself to a movie and plan the time around it and be like, okay, I'm gonna set aside an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then watch this and be affected by it. But with a song, it's no more than at the very least 4 minutes. So it's like you can make time for a song like that, but you know, it's not the same as a movie, right? So, but yeah, the fifth one, I don't know, like.
See, again, there's always something. I remember, again, as a kid, hearing the Superman theme song, right? The introduction to that music, and you're like, I can do anything. And I was an imaginary kid. I played outside a lot, running around in circles, you know. My imagination's all I had, right? I lived out in a farm, so it's like, shit. It was either run around outside or go in the house and go crazy. And get the beats.
The beats.
Get the beats.
Beat me, daddy. Literally.
Literally. Figuratively. You got the fuck out of the house.
Yeah, GTFO.
So I remember grabbing like my mom's bed sheet or a towel and a safety pin and putting it around my neck and then running outside as Superman. And you'd scream the theme song and you sounded like a fucking arsehole, but you still did it.
Well, see, now, if you think about stuff like that, I have all kinds of songs.
Well, that's what I mean.
Mostly ones that make me
connects.
Mostly ones that make me remember being a kid. Like, I'll make answer 5 double, like a multiple part one. So whenever I hear "Let's Talk About Sex," for example, and like, you know, "Baby Got Back" and all those songs make me remember of a time when it was like, oh, you know, we would go behind, like, you know, we'd have a radio and we'd go behind, like, the, you know, into our own room and close the door and we'd listen to those songs, and it's like, because they were taboo, our parents wouldn't let us listen to them, right? And so we'd have to, like, your friend would come up to you and be like, oh, I got Baby Got Back on a cassette and my mom doesn't know, let's go listen to it. It's like, oh yeah, it's like if we're doing fucking drugs, you know? It's almost like that, because we weren't allowed to listen to certain songs. Now, my mom didn't care all that much. I think she was more of a appearances mom more than a care mom. Like, she didn't want me to go out in public and start singing, you know, "Let's talk about sex, baby," while we were in public, right?
Doesn't stop you now.
No, but I think if I listened to it at home, she didn't care too much, but she didn't want me listening to him anyway. But like, you know, but yeah, like, we couldn't listen to "Baby Got Back" out in public because, like, kids shouldn't listen to that shit. And, you know, and like Me So Horny, when I was like 10 years old and stuff, I first heard that song and I was like, oh my god, this is so bad. But now 10-year-olds are listening to fucking Gin and Juice or whatever Tupac was coming out with, and they're just hearing that for the first time. They're like, oh, this is so tame. It's like, well, if you were around when Gin and Juice was out, or when, you know, Me So Horny came out, you'd be like, oh, I can't believe I'm listening to this, I'm so bad, you know? And so, for my fifth answer and final answer, I guess it's, you know, a lot of songs that we used to just take for granted and think differently of now. When I hear them, they make me think of a time when, you know, people really cared what kids and stuff listened to. But now it's so different because there's hardly any filters at all anymore. So it reminds me of a time like that, you know, where it almost, well, literally, you felt like you were having your first smoke if you were listening to a song that had a bunch of swears and curses in it in front of your parents, right? Because you know the punishment was going to be just as severe if you got caught listening to it. It's like, what? You were listening to fucking Snoop Dogg? Your ass is going to get reddened. It's like, it's just music. But, you know, nowadays people don't give a shit. So.
It's funny how music has changed over the years, but it hasn't changed, right?
Yeah.
Because how many kids in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s all felt the same thing. Oh, my parents won't let me listen to that shit. You know, Zeppelin back in the day was considered hardcore.
Yeah.
Right? Now it's like, what? Guns N' Roses. You know, like, fuck. No, there's
welcome to the jungle. You're going to die.
Yeah, exactly. And then you sit there crying going, I am going to fucking die. Yeah, all the lyrics.
Yeah.
They hit you right in the heart.
Well, that was a tough one. Now I feel like I'm going to give you a softball because, maybe mine will be difficult. I don't know. But for OBG's question, I got a pretty simple one. It's a really nice one. I thought it was a good one. So it's going to be a time travel question.
Uh-oh. Okay.
So my question is, if you could pick 5 times in history, like, you could pick a decade, or you can stay for however long you want, 1 minute, 2 minutes. Just if you could pick a year, we'll go by years. So pick a year and then say how long you'd be there. But if you could pick 5 years throughout history that you would want to travel to if you had the money for time travel, if it was implemented and if it was discovered. And, discovered, they got that shit. They're just hiding it from us. All fucking Bill Gates goes to 1980 and buys Apple stock every day. You know, that's fucking.
I would.
That's how he consistently. You know, Microsoft products haven't been popular for the last 10 decades. You know, or a decade, sorry. So you know what he's doing? He's going back and buying stock in 1980, coming back and selling it off. That's how he consistently keeps being worth $60 billion. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, but back to the question. So, yeah, if you could pick 5 years to go back to, how long would you stay there? What would you do? And what would those 5 years be that you could go back to?
That's actually not an easy one. That's a pretty hard one.
Well, and don't say you'll go to change the course of history.
Yeah.
No, just what you would like to do, like, you know.
Wow. That is a pretty hard one.
And you can choose to stay for however long you want. Or you can choose to only go and stay for like a minute or whatever. But where would you go to?
Where would I go?
And
How
what
long
would you do there?
What would I do there?
Yeah.
Wow, that actually is a pretty tough
put those
question.
3 things into your 5 answers.
That's a pretty tough. That's actually a really hard question because there's so many good times in history. It depends on your history.
Haven't you ever thought of like if time travel was real, one place you definitely want to go? Just go.
I'd go back to the 80s for sure and have some fun.
Yeah, what would you do?
But I'd like to be older. See, I was young in the 80s. I was just a little shit running around with my finger in my nose. It'd be cool to go clubbing in the 80s.
I have to, sorry to interrupt, but that's the thing.
You're already screwing my time.
No, that's the thing. You would be the same age you are right now.
Well, that's what I'm
so
saying,
you would interact with yourself. You wouldn't be allowed to interact with yourself
that's what I'm
back
saying.
then because you would cause a paradox and then
of course. And the world
so yeah, you'd be the age you are whenever you choose to go.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I would love to go back to the 80s. I would love to go sit through the original Star Wars. That would be cool. Going to the theater to see it. Like, we go to the theater now and it's a gong show bullshit. Can you imagine going to see Star Wars back in the day? That would be fun.
After A New Hope and the hype was real and
that's right. Standing in line. You know, I'm not a super geek, but you know what? That would be a fucking cool time. Just to see the people's reactions. And then tell them that, you know, Darth Vader is Luke's father. That'd be I'd be that asshole.
And get beat up by 80s teens.
Yeah, I'd be that asshole going, I bet you Vader's his father. I would say that in line. Just to see what would happen.
Hey, you know who Anakin Skywalker is? Let me tell you about him.
See? They'd think I was crazy, but that'd be fucking epic. I could rewrite Star Wars.
Well, nobody knew Anakin's Darth Vader's name until the prequels, which
and you know what? I would go back and tell Spielberg no to Jar Jar Binks.
Lucas.
Or Lucas, yeah, sorry, Lucas, Spielberg, they both did the first one, so I get caught up there. I would say no. No to Jar Jar.
Yeah.
And I'm only doing this to save your franchise, sir.
Right.
Okay, so there's two moments right there.
What? No, that's one. The
That's
80s.
80. Well, no, I said 80s clubbing. See, that's one thing. I would like to go back and see.
So you go to the 80s twice. No, you can't go to the... See, if you went to the 80s, you could watch Star Wars and still go clubbing. That just counts as one.
Now you're changing it.
That just counts as...
Right,
you go to... If I chose to go to 1994 and I went and ate a pizza at Pizza Hut...
I would go back to before you were born and drowned you.
Oh, come on. That doesn't count. That's just mean.
I know. But I would do it.
But yes, you said the 80s, so that means you could do anything in the 80s.
In the 80s.
So pick 4 more years.
4 more years. Man, this is hard. I would go back to the 70s as well.
How long would you stay?
Just a day.
Okay.
My grandpa died before I was born. And it would just be it'd be cool to go back and see that old fart. I hear so many good things about him, never met the man.
Yeah.
But I hear he was absolutely incredible. So that'd be one thing personally I would like to do.
Yeah.
It's just to go back and meet the old guy.
Have coffee with him or whatever.
Well, yeah, go to the farm. Like I said, he was a farmer. He used to make steel and horseshoeing and shit like that. And he was a guy's guy. You know, my dad loved him, but I never met him. He died literally right before I was born. So that'd be something for a personal.
Yeah.
That I would like to do. I'd like to go back and, you know. What else? See, this is hard. I'm not a big disco fan, so I wouldn't go back to like. 60s, 70s, do that kind of shit.
Said you would go to the 70s disco.
Just to meet my grandpa, then I'd come back. Like I said, an hour tops.
Yeah.
Because you know what? That music sucked balls.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I can't have that. I would go back to the 50s.
Yeah.
I would.
How long would you stay?
I would stay a little while because I would love to get the biker coat. I would like to go to the malt shop.
I would. You know what? I'm not going to lie. I'd love to go to
man.
a malt shop and use an actual vintage jukebox and just sit there and have a burger made with actual real beef.
Exactly.
You know?
It's funny because I used to drive the motorcycle and have the slick back hair and the leather coat, and I think that would be a time that would be absolutely fucking incredible to me.
And I would get floored. I would take a picture on my phone. People would be like, what the fuck? I would take a picture of the menu and be like, I bought this burger for 10 cents. It's a fucking paradise where poor ass Chris can afford food actually every single day.
I was gonna say we really could buy shit up, but I didn't know. Are we allowed to bring it back with us? See, that's the thing.
Maybe not.
See,
might not even get to go with your phone.
See, but definitely the 50s. That would be a kick-ass time. I love the music. I love the simplicity. Again, it'd be fun to see my dad around that age.
Oh, you know what would be great is if the economy was the same, but you could bring money from the future and just... I would get so fucking fat. Like burgers for 10 cents. Here's $20. Fill me up,
That's right. They'd be like, this guy's a witch.
How's he so rich? It's like...
no. That's something I would like to do. Like I said, there's certain times. What's that, 4 now for me?
3.
Well, 80s, 70s, 50s. Yeah, you're right. I'd like to say I'm a good person. I'd like to go stop an assassination, but no, that's bullshit.
Can't change the course of history.
Can't change the course of history. So really, what else is there to really see?
You know what? I'm not going to throw you an easy one, but I would, if I could pick, I'd go to back to April 1912, and I'd spend the first 2 days and a half on the Titanic and I'd buy a first class ticket and then be like, okay, I'm out of here. You guys have a nice night.
I'd be like telling everybody to bundle up and make sure that they put on their life jacket.
Yeah, and I'd be like, oh, why? Oh, just because I heard something. But anyway, have a good night, and I'd be out of there. And no, but I would have liked to spend the first 2 days and a half on the Titanic, and as soon as it got dark and everything else, it's kind of chilly. I'm like, okay, guys, have a nice night. Good meeting you and stuff. I'll say hi to your families in the next 100 years. No, you couldn't say stuff like that. But no, I would take $1,000, buy a cheap ass first class ticket, and just spend do every fucking thing available on that ship, and then I'd be peacing out 2 days later.
Just like that, peacing out.
Just so I could experience it,
Well, that's a pretty.
But you couldn't go there and change the course of history and tell them you're going to hit an iceberg, do this and this and this, because that wouldn't be allowed.
That'd be funny as fuck.
But and you can't hint it either. You'd have to choose your words carefully. But I would go back, buy a first class ticket, and I would just spend the first 2 days of the thing there doing everything I could, and And
I would get in trouble because I would hint at it. I'd be like, this is supposed to be the unsinkable ship. I would bet wagers on it to see how many would pick me up on that.
But you couldn't take the money back.
And then, I'd disappear right before, right? Right before the ship sank, I'd be like, told you. Just told you. It's a dick move, but I would so do it because, it'd be funny to see those fuckers' faces just as the ship's going down. They're like, how do you know? What the fuck?
Yeah, well, you still have two. I was just throwing that out there.
I know. No, there's nothing a lot I'd really like to do. Like I said, I'm more, I don't know. Like I said, the 80s were so much fun.
You wouldn't like to take some current 2017 money and make something happen with someone in the 70s or 80s or 90s?
Well, Cindy Crawford or Samantha Fox, I'd love to make something happen.
Like, it's so easy for me. If I could take 2017 money, take like $400 or $500 and stuff, and then I would go back and buy a ticket to a Michael Jackson concert in like 1980 or something, and I would just watch the hell out of that. Because I'll never get to see him live, and I never got to see his concerts when I was a kid because I was too young. So if I had the chance, I'd go back to 1980, take $500, buy a ticket to it, buy a plane ticket, which was fucking cheap back then, and I'd go watch a Michael Jackson concert in like Asia or something.
Yeah, not me. There's no concerts because all the concerts I ever really wanted to see, I saw. Movies, again, I saw them,
Well, you got to come up with two.
Maybe I try to talk, again, Lucas into a Howard the Duck sequel. That one was for you, buddy.
Travel back to the 80s and be like, hey, this is good enough for a sequel. Don't listen to the haters.
Yeah, the haters will hate right up into 2017.
And beyond.
And beyond.
All right, we'll count that as your fourth one. But you got to come up with one last one. Come on.
Oh, man, see?
I gave you the fourth one.
All right. I would like to be I'd probably like to try to be one of the astronauts to hit the moon, just so I could say I did it.
Go back to like 1958 or something?
And I'm not talking Apollo 13 or shit, I'm talking push Armstrong out of the way and take his place and then disappear. They'd be like, who the fuck's that? Right? And they'd be like...
Leave a flag with a dick pic on the...
Of course!
On the moon. People go there in the future, it's like, what's this? It's a dick selfie.
That's right. I would leave a dick selfie on the moon. With the Polaroid I got from the 80s. So there's no connection to my dick and the moon. There you go. That's fine.
That'd be a great pickup line. It's like, yeah, this guy's got this guy's got a 10-room mansion and a 401k that's super expensive. Got all kinds of money.
My dick.
Forget him. My dick's on the moon.
My dick has touched the moon.
So, fuck me.
There you go.
Is his dick pic on the moon? No, I don't think so. Oh, I'm going home with him. See, told you.
They will never, ever be able to beat My Dick on the Moon.
No.
That should be a song.
My dick on the moon. But, all right, yeah, so no, that's good. I see that was a lot easier than the one before.
Oh, that was difficult. You put me on the spot again.
All right, so that's Hypothetical 5 for this episode. That's pretty good. Now, we got 2 more topics, so we'll have to trim them up. But, let's go with, we'll put that one last, because that's really good. So, let's talk about the prevalence of unhealthy shit. Oh, I know, it's like, this is so boring, blah. But, I work at a place called, Schmack Schmanolds. And,
Schmack Schmanolds.
Schmack Schmanolds, yeah.
Wow.
And, Schmack Schmanolds has a lot of, unhealthy stuff.
That's right.
And so... one of the things that really surprises me is how sugar is in everything. Not just at Schmack Schmanolds, but at like everywhere. And like you think, oh, there's no way sugar can be in this thing. It's this thing. But it's like sugar is in that thing.
That's processed.
It's so far in that thing. It's impregnated it for the next 20 years. That's how far sugar is into that thing.
That is processed foods for you, my
And
friend.
and I'm not even talking about people saying Schmeck Schmanolds food lasts for 20 years if it's put in a freaking, if it's put on a counter and just left there. I don't even care about that. But like, they have ingredients lists on the boxes, but of course no one ever reads those because they don't get close enough to it because you're just a customer. But I'm not going to specify because I don't want to crack too many eggshells on the floor I'm on. But I'm going to say, if you go in there and suspect that sugar is in something you're ordering at Schmick Schmanolds, don't doubt it. You are correct. probably 98% of the time, there is sugar in what you are ordering. Now, of course, it's like, oh, I expect there to be sugar. How much sugar do you expect? And that's an overall thing. Like, you go to, and it's not just McDonald's. You know, you go to do your grocery shopping. You're like, oh, I'm going to buy reduced sugar fucking cereal. And you're like, that'll be a good choice. What do you think it is, boss man? How do you think they get the reduced sugar? You know how they do it.
Of course.
They put artificial sugars to cover up the reduced sugars. So, actually, and the kicker is, because life fucking hates the human race, the artificial sugar is more dangerous and deadly for you than if it had regular sugar you were trying to avoid. So you're fucking hooped. And
my old man was a diabetic, and he was constantly fighting with sugars and blood sugar being too high. There's so many diabetics out there. You know, you look at how many diabetics, how many people with obesity compared to 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago. Why? It's because of the shit they put in food.
Yeah.
Now, you could be a vegan, or you could be an all-natural eater and eat nothing but plants and fucking seaweed and fucking dirt. I'm not bashing on it, but...
You could be a fucking cow. Yeah.
But even still, when they process that, they spray it down with certain things. There's sugar in it. Like, you're never going to be completely healthy.
No, because that's the thing. You can try your damn hardest to eat what's quote-unquote healthy and what's, better choices and all that stuff. And sure, eating that stuff may bring down your weight. It may, give you better innards and stuff. But... you would have to eat like a fucking cow or like a fucking, animal that just eats leaves. Like, you'd have to eat leaves. But even if you went out to a fucking park and chewed on a leaf, it'd be probably as deadly as if you bought a fucking milkshake, because the pollution in the air is on the leaves, and you eat the leaves, and then you get, you might as well ingest a tub of sugar, It's going to kill you just as equally fast. So,
how many times do people make jokes about it's cheaper to go to a fast food restaurant to buy their kids McDonald's than to go and actually buy groceries? Because it's true. You can buy a $5 meal, burgers, fries, and a drink supersized for $7 at Dairy, some of these places.
Yeah.
And try to get a $5 meal at a grocery store.
Well, try to buy an organic onion for $5. You can't do it.
Unless you want to have a fucking onion sandwich.
Right?
Right? And then it's like, fuck me.
Why is it in a world where people are saying, like, you see these documentaries where people say, oh, the world is obese and you should eat healthy. Okay, so I'll go and eat healthy if you give me $20,000 a week to buy organic groceries.
And that's the sad part. When it all comes down to it, that is the sad part. Is healthy is expensive.
Yeah.
Even gym memberships. I used to go to the gym all the time, and used to be able to go to the gym for, $20-$30 a month. Now it's $50 to $70. It's $500 to $700 a year to go to the gym membership. Fuck that.
Holy fuck.
I'll run around the block and lift the fucking brick out in the back.
Yeah.
No, healthy is... Everyone pushes to be healthy, but no one can afford to be healthy.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
It's true. It's true.
Everybody, if you really want it, you can do it. Because, you can cut back on the fast food to go to the gym. Again, it's all choice. And that's the thing is what do you choose to do, right? Mm. People are going to be hating us for this one.
Oh, that's fine. I'm sure they already know it anyway. We're just bringing
That's okay. They'll just bitch about us at Pukes or someplace like that.
So, we have one more topic, but I don't know if we got the time for it. So, we're at 53 minutes, so...
Let's do it fast. We can do this.
Okay, a 5-minute thing then. So the Bossman's Opinion Corner, a new segment we're bringing out here. And me and the Bossman always talk about movies all the time. Sometimes I razz him a little bit for the kind of movies he buys, because I would never buy them. Ghostbusters again, it's a trope. But anyway... So today's topic I'm throwing at the boss man for his opinion is Marvel and DC movies versus each other. What makes them good? What makes them bad? And if they're bad, what could they improve on? And what do they need to do for... now, people perceive Marvel to be the king of all movies when it comes to superhero movies. I'm not of that opinion. I think Marvel does some things right, they do some wrong. DC does some things right, they do it wrong. But what could they do... what could DC do or Marvel do to be at that sweet spot where people think they're just as good as the other one, even if it's not true? But yeah, so what is your opinion on what makes them good and bad? What could they improve on and all that stuff?
We look at the flaws. flaws, right? Like, how many times have they redone Spider-Man and it's been shit?
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's true, yeah.
But
the Spider-Man 3 fucking dancing down down New York, right?
You know, they're trying to keep it kid-friendly, but kid-friendly doesn't make money. You look at Deadpool.
R-rated.
You look at Logan.
$700 million R-rated movie.
So again, comic fans are anywhere from the age of 5 years old to 90 years old.
Yeah.
Throw Stan Lee in there.
Yeah, Stan Lee, fucking robot, eh?
But, you know, it's not the 70s, it's not the 80s. We don't have to be so nice. Yeah, that's why you have the kids' cartoons. Cartoons are for the kids. You know, X-Men on Sunday morning, Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man. But the movies, they're not kid-based. You want to make the money, you got to make them the R-rated. You got to have the violence. Because
if it's an R-rated material thing. Like, if the comic is not R-rated and stuff and it doesn't fit, then go with it.
But even still, look at Logan.
Yeah, how can Wolverine chop a person in half and have that PG, right?
Exactly. And you know what? He was a Canadian Alpha Flight guy. He was always, you know, supposed to be a badass, but in the cartoons they toned it down so much that you almost laughed at the character. Same in the comics, right? In the comics he's a badass. You look at characters like Venom, Carnage, the Punisher. The new Daredevil series is kick-ass because they make the Punisher who he is.
I do like it, yeah.
But you look at Dolph Lundgren's Punisher in the 80s and you're like, who's this fucking meathead?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, in the Netflix Daredevil, the Punisher, I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but the guy walks into a store, a pawn shop, to get some under-the-counter stuff for surveillance and shit, and it's all good, and he's annoyed with him, you can tell, but he's like, whatever, this guy's just a fucking nut, whatever, and he's gonna leave him alone. But then he offers him some child prawn, and he just fucking beats the guy's head in with a bat. And you know, you get like you can't show that if it was PG.
Well, and that's it. You look at now we're comparing DC to Marvel. Marvel's gotten it right. They're starting to learn. You want to make the money. You want to make people love the movies. Change the style. You look at the old Captain America from the 80s.
Oh,
with
fuck.
Red Brown.
The 90s movie.
You look at the 90s Flash, right? The 90s TV's Flash. And the Flash from now, totally night and day.
Yeah.
You know, again, you got to make it a little racier. Batman, Adam West Batman versus Ben Affleck. Really? Who'd win in a fight? Bring the shark spray.
Now, she's right. Now, this is one last thing I wanted before we wrap it up. I really want to get this question out there because I think it's a really important thing to ask. Now, I know you lean towards DC a lot. You like a lot of... I think, in my opinion, if I had to say about the Bossman, I think you like a lot more DC characters than Marvel characters. That's just what I assume.
That is correct.
Okay, but now what makes Marvel able to take something like Guardians of the Galaxy and Doctor Strange and something that doesn't get a lot of promotion, is not widely known as, say, Batman or Superman. What is Marvel doing right to where they can take one of their less known stuff and make a blockbuster movie out of it? Like Ant-Man, that shouldn't have worked on any level, but they made a shit ton of money. What is Marvel doing, do you think, that DC could learn from?
The thing that DC's just starting to do, linking the characters together. You look at Marvel, all the movies are linked. All the characters linked.
Yeah.
You know, Thor, Ragnarok has
Ant-Man is going to be in the Avengers.
Ant-Man is in the Avengers. DC is just starting to do that with the last Batman versus Superman. Everything was always individual. Always. But even back in the 80s, in the Incredible Hulk series with Lou Ferrigno, they introduced Daredevil. They introduced Thor. That's where Marvel always succeeded, is because you don't want to see the same character over and over and over and over and over. You want to see the crossovers. DC is just starting to do it with their TV series, having Martian Manhunter and Supergirl, the Red Tornado, Flash, Supergirl, Green Arrow. That is where they are starting to get on board that Marvel started way back. And that's the difference. That's why Marvel makes a shit ton more money on the whole, because they picked up on what fans want. They want to see Batman kick the shit out of Superman.
Yeah.
And they want to see Superman break Zod's neck. But it took 40 years to get there.
Yeah.
Where Marvel was like, screw this shit. Let's have Captain America and Iron Man beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
That's what fans want. It's because that's what fans have always wanted. They love the superheroes, but people like to see them lose.
Yeah. Yeah. See him not be so super every now and then.
You got to see the hero get his ass kicked so you can believe that he's actually human.
Yeah.
You got it.
Well, there you go. I think that's another episode in the bag. Hopefully we were able to entertain you and stuff. So, as I said, next week, or not next week, don't quote me on that. It's not every week. No.
We're trying.
But next episode, we'll probably have the open line. So if you're interested in that, give us a call. It'll be good. But for the Bossman, for OBG, that was episode 6. And, hope to see you in the next one. All right, bye.
See you in 7.